So, here at Log Towers, we have many, many years of experience of playing games. But what would we consider our best or favourite? Let's find out.
It's time for the League of Games.
Play ball!
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
So, we decided to get together. I don't know what's going on, just winging this. Decided to get together and talk about our favourite games. We've got lots and lots of years of experience playing, so there's like a massive catalogue of games that we've played. So which ones were the standouts for us? So joining me, Duane, you all know me, is Stuart. Say hi, Stuart.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi, Stuart, and prick. We've also got Dave. Oh, we've already started. We've got Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Oh, David.
Oh, David. So yeah, basically the format is just the three of us this evening.
Just the three of us.
Do we have to pay copyright on that?
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
We'll use all the log money from Patreon. That's it.
Yeah, okay. Oh.
To pay for it.
What about the OnlyFans? Is that...
Oh, well, Dave's got that covered. I mean,
Dave's got that covered.
No problem.
So yeah, the basic format is we've each picked our top three favourite games ever.
Which is
we're just
fucking hard task in
Which
itself.
is actually really, really hard. There's a couple of surprises, a couple of obvious. And yeah, we're just going to discuss them and say why. We'll start with Dave. Dave, what's your third favourite game of all time?
Oh, this is exciting.
We'll be the judge of that.
This is exciting.
We'll see.
It's exciting for me to talk about these games. So, I'll start by saying I've done a bit of research. This is my top three favourite games, and I just sort of hope.
Did you put that in Google? The OpenGPT, is it the AI?
ChatGPT, one of my three favourite games.
What are they? I hope I can do the games justice. Although it doesn't matter really, does it? It's not. You know,
No, we're not rating or ranking.
Favourite.
We're just saying why it's ours.
Okay, so my first game, or my third game, should I say, in my top three. So my third favourite game of all time is Half-Life 2.
Ooh.
Right, where do I start with this? Duane, are you doing sort of facts and figures in terms of release dates?
Okay, well, the only facts I've picked up are release dates, basically. So this was released in 2004, and it's been released on several platforms, I think, across whatever was around at that time. And I think there have been like bundles and stuff where it's reappeared. So yeah, it's kind of done the rounds a bit. From what I understand, it's very popular. Bit of a shocker, I've never actually played Half-Life 2.
No way. No, my introduction to it.
Your introduction?
My introduction was the orange box on PS3.
Yes, well, I had that, and there was a game in that I played. We'll talk about that later.
Sorry, boys. Can I talk about this fucking game?
No, Dave. No, you can't.
No.
But, actually, can I give you a little stat, though? It got 96 in Metacritic. But no, please, David, go on.
That's good. 96. So, Dave, why do you love Half-Life 2?
So, I also got this through the orange box. So I paid £12 for this then.
Bargain?
Fuck me, bargain and a half. So the orange box was 5 Valve games. Valve was the publisher and the developer of this, I think. So there was Half-Life 2, there was Half-Life 2 Episode 1, and Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Portal, and Counter-Strike were the 5 games. I never played Counter-Strike, to be honest, because it was a multiplayer thing, and it just wasn't my bag then. But I played the fuck out of the other 4 games for £12. What a bargain! So I don't know when the Orange Box was released, actually, but I guess it would have been a few years after Half-Life 2 was released.
Well, I think it wasn't it the Orange Box to do with the consoles?
Yes.
Half-Life was obviously originated on PC. It was all PC.
Yeah, I think most of them were PC, and then I think when they whacked them to console, it came through on the Orange Box.
I've just done a quick googly woogly, and it was 2007.
Okay, so sort of 3 years.
2007. We're going to hear that year quite a lot.
But bearing in mind, I got the Orange Box for £12, so I'm damn sure it wasn't released at £12. So it must have gone to that price point a couple of years after, maybe, or a year or so after the Orange Box even was released. So but basically what I'm saying is I probably first played Half-Life 2 when it was about 5 years old. I think that'll be the first time I played it. And part of the
when
reason
you were 5.
Well,
when it was 5, Stuart. God.
Yeah, when the game was 5.
I was going to say, I thought he said when he was 5.
When I was 5. Fucking hell.
My maths doesn't even work.
I would not have been allowed to play this game when I was 5.
So that would have been bad parenting.
Yeah. So the orange. Are you saying the Orange Box is your number 3, or is it just Half-Life 2 out of the Orange Box, which is your number 3?
Just Half-Life 2, because there's another game on the Orange Box that is also in my top 3.
What's your standout moment in Half-Life 2 then, which made you go, "Fuck me, this is game changer for me"? This is what was that moment? Or
well, there's so many. I think probably the key. I think why I've been giving this a bit of thought. I think why I love this so much. And Portal's the other game as well. So that's spoiler for my other choices, but never mind.
Oh, speaking of spoilers, can I just say, I mean, it's a little bit late, but we are discussing games that are quite old, and there probably will be spoilers at some point. So either don't listen, or do listen, carry on listening.
Please listen.
Please listen. Just fast forward a bit if you don't want to hear about anything that's happened in these games. And also, where the fuck have you been if you've not played some of these games? That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you'd have to fast forward. You'd have to fast forward to the end, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah, no, but still listen.
Okay, I'm not sure how you could. Yeah, thinking about it, I think why I love this game so much, and it is a great game, and sort of everyone knows that it's a great game. Like you said, Stu, it's like 96%. It is, it's had lots and lots of acclaim, but I'd never even heard of this game when I started playing it. I only bought the Orange Box because it had 5 games in it, and it was £12, and I thought, fuck me, that's good value. I didn't know any
£2.40 a game. That's like so cheap.
It's amazing, isn't it? It is amazing.
£2.40 for a game. Can't even get that on the App Store now. On your fucking phone.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
No, it's crazy. The good ones, the free ones are shit.
Yeah, so I kind of discovered this game, if you know what I mean, and it's an amazing game, but I'd never heard of it, so I had no expectations going into it at all because I didn't know anything about it. And every 5 minutes I was like, fuck me, this game's fucking amazing. I just couldn't believe what I was playing. And I think if I'd known about the game and knew that it was supposed to be a brilliant game, I don't think it would have blown me away as much as it did.
Oh, I don't know, Dad, because my introduction to this game was people were talking about Half-Life 2 on the PC, and I never bought this day one. I was, because I had a big gaming hole for a while, and when I got back into PS3, so I was having a look around what was on, and I saw this Orange Box, and it was cheap. I remember, I think it was £15 when I bought it, and I heard about Half-Life 2, of being an amazing game, and it's a must-play game. And I played it, and it just blew me away completely. Half-Life 1 as well, just it was what it is. It was just a story. I think that was it. It was games normally, traditionally, computer games were like platformers, not really a story. You just get from A to B, best score, best time, whatever. This one was an actual proper thought out story.
Well, it's the way the story is told as well, through your sort of, there aren't any. Well, there are sort of cutscenes, but they're kind of talking to you in the. Oh no, actually, I don't even think they're cutscenes.
I can't remember them.
Thinking about it, I don't think there are cutscenes. I think it's just
in-game engine.
It's kind of in-game stuff. Yeah, I don't think there are any cutscenes. But the guy you play, Gordon Freeman, never speaks, which is a bit weird, but it kind of works. It works within the game. What can I say about it? The graphics. Bear in mind, it was 5 years old when I started playing it. The graphics, and I've been watching YouTube videos of it, and to be honest, they still look pretty good now. Yeah,
but have they been modded?
I don't think so. I don't know what version. I don't know what version I was watching, but the graphics, the sounds it made, the little kind of beep when you kill someone, the little clicks of when your gun runs out of ammo, just all that, it just brought it all back to me listening to those sounds whilst watching it. The physics of the game with the gravity gun. Duane, have you heard of the gravity gun? You've never.
Yeah, I know about head crabs and gravity guns. I just never played it. I don't know why. Because I had the orange box, but I only played one of the games out of the orange box for some reason. We all know which game that would be. But yeah, for some reason I didn't kind of jump into any of the others. I was lent it, so I actually didn't even pay for it. So I went there.
Wow, mate, you've missed a treat.
Yeah, it really sounds like I have missed out.
Just the pacing of the game. You kind of start and you wake up on this train. You go into the city. You sort of, there's lots of oppression. There's bloody guards everywhere. I could go on and on, but we've got to keep it as brief as we can, really. So I'll just pick a couple of sort of standout moments. There's a bit when you're on I don't really want to call it a boat. It's like a bike. It's a cross between a motorbike and a boat. It's like a hovercraft type.
A jet ski.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying, Duane, but it isn't a jet ski. It's like a hovercraft type thing, Stu, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's a really long section where you're going up these canals with that, and you have to keep getting off and doing things. There's sort of environmental puzzles. You've got to get off and shoot people. You kind of get stalked by this helicopter. You end up getting a gun attached to it. You can't see your arms, by the way, when you're riding the thing. You can just see the handlebars moving. You can't see your arm. I guess that was just the time when that was the time, I guess. And then you kind of end up fighting back and blowing this helicopter up at the end of that section. There's another really long section with a car as well. There's loads of stuff. I could go on and on and on. And then
if you do, can you make it the interesting bits? Instead of the boring bits of the game.
Would you say those were the boring bits, Stu?
Oh, I didn't like those bits. Those bits didn't go on and on. No, it was the bits where like you're going into you first enter the city and you're on the train, and I think that's Half-Life 1 actually. But like, I know even Half-Life 2, you go into the
you're on a train at the start, yeah,
the waiting area, or you'd be like pabbed down. It's all that, and then the environment of all the walkers and and the police and the conversational with things going on. So I did those bits on the boat. I know what you mean, but I didn't enjoy those. I just thought they were a bit. I think they added them in to be more gamey than anything else. To be fair, I didn't, So, but no, they were good. It was okay, but I thought there were better bits than that. But each to their own. At the end of the day, it's your choice.
I liked the
Who
fact
am I?
that those sections were just really long. It wasn't like, oh, let's have a bit on a boat. It was just a really long
You're right,
part
yeah.
of the. You just got the sense that you were travelling somewhere. Which was what you were doing in the game. You were trying to get somewhere, but the journey was long enough that it was kind of an arduous journey. And it's the same for the car thing as well. I thought it was great. And then you've got, well, like you say, Stu, then you go up against the walkers, you get fucking rocket launchers, you get shotgun, you get all that stuff. This was before games where you could only carry 2 guns. So he's got about 15 fucking guns on him at one point. But yeah, and then, it kind of ends. You fight back, you get to the citadel at the end, blow something up, and then get put back into some kind of suspended animation, ready for sort of episodes 1 and 2, really, which are also on the orange box. Played both of them. They're not as good as Half-Life 2, in my opinion, and unfortunately, episode 2 ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh no, don't.
That never gets resolved.
You know what, Duane? If I were you, don't play them because you
yeah,
get pissed off.
They haven't bothered.
You will get really pissed off.
I can't remember the guy's name, but the Valve guy, Gabe Newell?
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently he's worse than George R. R. Martin. So I'm still waiting for book.
Well, at the end
6.
of the day, though, I don't think they'll ever release 3, only because they've got so much to prove. It's just it'll fail. It'll just be a fail, and there'll be people want it to fail, and they'll get off on it failing. So it's
they released Half-Life Alyx, didn't they? So that was a prequel. In VR, which got really good reviews. I've not played it, but it got
I've
reviews.
not played it. So
anyway, thinking about time. So let's wrap that up then. So number 3 pick, Half-Life 2.
So Half-Life 2.
Good choice.
Dave said not played it, but yeah, sounds like I
game.
probably would have enjoyed it. Don't know why I didn't.
Yeah.
So Stu, what's your
Yes.
number 3 choice?
Right, mine is a trilogy of games, and I'm only picking the first one because I like them all, but the first one it fucking is the best. Dawn 1, it's amazing. It's Bioshock. You can't not like Bioshock.
Game.
It's like, so Bioshock was released in 2007.
2007.
Yeah, I know. Classed as a first-person shooter, and it is technically. I suppose it is. On Metacritic, got 96. So, and
Rightly
I'm
so.
sure that everybody knows, but like everything about Bioshock, though, 1 is just it's a masterclass in game design for me. It's the levels are incredible. Rapture is a character in itself. The big daddies are fucking hard if you don't know if you got the wrong weapon equipped
scary.
or you do the wrong thing.
Scary.
Yeah, and the whole aesthetic and the Andrew Ryan and the whole politics and religious thing, or he's anti-religion and anti-politics. However, that's what made Rapture fall, because they had to have somebody running the place and they had to have people cleaners, but nobody wanted to be cleaning because it was meant for the arts and for the science where man could be man and all that kind of stuff. And then they discovered this Adam, which is a chemical which they can have like powers like fire or frost or bees. That's a weird. I never liked playing that one because it just felt weird playing it. But it's just incredible.
I didn't like
bees.
No, can you remember? Did you ever use it? The bee one?
No, I was pretty much just like, oh, electric shock. That's the best. I'm just gonna upgrade that one.
Oh no, in the water. Oh no. So there's this one thing now. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the bit where I suppose it is spoiler. But you,
like I say, very spoiler heavy.
There are like mini bosses, I suppose, through the game, and one of them happens to be one of the artists, and you've got to go there to get various items to do various things. But this one is so freaky, and I even played the collection, which was released in 2016. Which, if anybody's It's dirt cheap. You can pick it up for £10. You
Oh,
get
it's in
all
the
three
sale, I
games.
think. Again, at the
And
moment,
it
it's
is
always on sale.
one of the best purchases you will make. It is so cheap and so amazing. All three games are brilliant. Don't get me wrong.
All
Bioshock 1 is the
amazing.
best one, though. But there's this one bit, and it's so eerie. So you're walking into this, everywhere's like slightly flooded as well. So you're walking down into this area, and you see these statues in there. And you just think the statues in a hall, but the lights go out, and the lights come back on. The statues have moved slightly. Then the lights go out and come back on, and they move slightly a bit more. Lights go out and come back in, and then right in front of your face. Oh, and I tell you, I shit myself properly. So I was going, and things like that. That game is just. I got to admit though, the end of the game is shit.
The final boss.
I don't like. I don't like.
Yeah.
It was just like they threw a final boss fighting for. I don't know why they ran out of ideas, or 2K told them they have to have a final boss fight. I mean, I can't imagine Ken Levine wanted that, because everything about that. And I'm not going to spoil it, but if nobody's played it, I know I said one bit, but there's an amazing twist as well. And and it's literally halfway through the game. You're thinking, "Fuck me! How did I not see this?"
Turns it on its head.
And that
it's so good.
Yeah, masterclass in design as well. Like when you look around the levels, and I mean, it's a product of its time. There's not much elevation and stuff like that, but the way they've cleverly designed Rapture, because Rapture's meant to be, enclosed, that you are fighting in corridors and things like that. And there's like big halls and things like that, but you can still see. And you do go outside, I think. Do you go outside? You do go outside for a little bit, don't you? Yeah. But what about the iconic title? With a massive squid. Like your Rapture's like you're coming down and
coming down in the bathysphere,
and then you fly, and then you see this 1930s noir art
Deco thing,
buildings everywhere, and then you see this massive squid and whale. It's incredible. The whole game is just the sound design, the art design, the direction, the gameplay. The gameplay is really good as well. So for a third-person, story-heavy game, it's a fantastic shooter as well. I think it is anyway. That's that's personal preference on that one. So another 96 that one got in Metacritic, which is a fine number. So have you got? I'll take it you two guys have played this game.
I've played it. I played it.
Yeah.
I played it on the 360, like when it first came out. It was just like, because right up my street. I tell you, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I remember. Well, I remember a few bits about it. I distinctly remember the start when you sort of in the plane and it crashes, and there's fire everywhere, all on the
The water effect as well. It's amazing.
But the graphics are so good.
Even now,
it takes you a while to realise you've come out of a cutscene and you're actually in the gameplay bit. Brilliant.
If you've not played Bioshock though, Dave, for a while, go and play it again. It will. It's just amazing. I played it a year ago, and I got the platinum in it as well. And it was just every bit of it was a joy. Apart from the end boss, it was just shit. Just boring.
That was gaming.
It was just boring. It was just like, why? Why would you ruin such a perfect game and you put that in there? Well,
I played one. I played 1 and 3. I've never played 2, but I played 1.
2's okay.
Two's all right. Yeah, 2's all right.
I played 2, but
and 3's all right apart from the end again. 3 it falls flat on the final boss fight. Why? We don't need a boss fight. Don't need one. No, we'll put one in there. Oh, all right. Okay, we'll get rid of you then.
It's a game. You've got to have a final boss fight. It's the law.
No, not always. Not always.
It's the law.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Anyway, that is my number 3. Duane, what is your number 3?
Again, mine is part of, I would say, Trilogy, but there was like an extra one, which was kind of like a prequel. But it's part of that trilogy. I've not gone for the trilogy, so we decided that when it came to trilogies, we could go for the whole trilogy if we wanted to, but they all had to be stand out. There had to be no like duffers or series. They could be like no duffers. So I decided that I wouldn't go for the whole series because the last one had its issues, and the prequel wasn't greatly received. I enjoyed it. But mine is the second of the series, Batman Arkham City.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how it did on Metacritic. I'm sure Stu will pull that up now. the Batman games, the Arkham games, I think came along and actually proved, for me, this is why I liked them so much, that they proved that superhero games could actually be fucking good, rather than just like cheap cash-in license, like cash grabs. It just like, they were solid games. They were just so good. Metacritic?
96.
96, see?
Another must-play Metacritic game.
Another
anything
solid...
over 90.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of the sort of superhero games, particularly Spider-Man, have like borrowed heavily on how like the combat works and how like the gameplay mechanics work and everything. So I think it kind of really set the standard for superhero games. And I just think City just had like a bigger playground. Like the open world was just like slightly bigger than Asylum. So that's for me why I went for City. It was just so good. Yeah, and Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Well, of course, that's another iconic role, and the best thing about that is because he's the cartoon Joker as well, isn't he? So
yeah. So he's done Joker for quite a couple of things, but yeah, he
so
just
everything
does it
just
really well.
nice and consistent continuity across the brand as well. So yeah, it is an amazing game. To be fair though, I can't really remember the story of it. I have played it.
Yeah, I've played through it twice. Yeah, it's kind of the thing is the game's very long. It's like one of the weird there's so many characters. Like it's so rich in Batman lore. It's crazy. And like
I think Hugo Strange is the main bad
yes,
guy.
Strange. That's it. Like Hugo Strange, and he kind of does this weird thing where he just like cordons off like a whole part of the city to be the prison. And it's basically like a feral wasteland. Well, not wasteland, but it's just anything goes. So, and I think the Joker's in there, and I think he's ill, and he's dying.
Yeah, I found that a bit annoying, that the prison, because it's right in the middle, as I remember. It's kind of in the middle, and you have to keep going round it because you can't go in. I don't think you can ever go in. Do you ever go into it in the game?
I think you did.
I thought you did. I thought you did.
I thought you did at points. But yeah, that was just great. Just absolutely looks amazing graphically. I mean, it was what year? It was 2011, so a little bit later than the 2007 pinnacle of gaming. Yeah, I just Arkham City was good, but the Batmobile just ruined it for me. It just kind of made it clunky and annoying. It just didn't need it.
Arkham Knight. You mean Arkham Knight?
Yeah, Arkham Knight. Yeah, sorry, Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
It just the Batmobile, just unnecessary.
What's your stance on Arkham Origins then, Duane?
I really enjoyed Arkham Origins. I actually really enjoyed it. It was solid. Not as good as any of the others. I think it was kind of sort of shipped out to one of like a different developer.
Yeah,
so
someone I don't know who did it. Someone else.
It was in Canada. I think it was someone else. It was in Canada. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was Batman, so I was going to enjoy it, and it was decent enough. But it wasn't quite up to the same standard as the other three. I'm assuming you guys have all played.
Yeah, I've played them all. Yeah, but I can't really remember. I mean, it's one of those games. They are beautiful, but they all look the same as well. They're all very dark and
grimy, aren't they?
Yes,
dark and
grimy,
and all the plots sort of mag into one kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, my memories of them is I've enjoyed playing them. So even though I don't have to remember really what really goes on in them and stuff, it's just I definitely enjoy playing them as well. So, and Arkham Knight, you were right. It was a good game apart from the fucking Batmobile.
I preferred. I think Asylum was my favourite. Arkham Asylum, the
really.
The first
I enjoyed them all. I mean, I think I played the demo for Asylum before it came out, and I was like, "This is amazing," because I think it's just like one of the there's like you're just in a tiny section, and you just like replay and take people out stealthily or do the fighting or whatever. And I just really enjoyed it. So when the moment the game came out, I was like, I've got to have this game. Got to have this game.
Yeah.
Asylum is a much smaller game than...
It's smaller. I think they're on... so if any of you haven't played them and you've all got now, I think they're all on there. The remasters. Like, is it Return to Arkham? I think they did
Yeah, it's Return to Arkham, yeah.
So it's the 2. And I think Batman, the Arkham Knight's on there as well. So
Very influential games.
Oh,
Very
definitely.
influential
I'd say
games.
they kind of really influenced a lot of the other superhero games. Definitely Spider-Man. They just feel so similar.
And the compact mechanic as well. I think that was like being copied by quite a lot of games now as well. You know, with the they give you a warning, don't they, before they attack, so you can do the counter, get your counter ready, and all
yeah,
that stuff.
that's in Hogwarts Legacy. That's very much a thing that's in there. I don't know if any of you are playing that at the moment, but I'm not. But I am.
Wouldn't they just have their wand out as the thing? They wouldn't need the flashy lights. They would just expose their wand, wouldn't they? And you would know they were about to attack you.
David. No penis jokes,
Exposing
please.
your wand.
It's something that's kind of like cut across like other games, even like 10 years later, 10, 15 years later.
Yeah.
They were a big deal at the time. Big deal. Great games.
Yeah, definitely. So, Dave, what's your number 2?
Oh, he said number 2. Right, number 2, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Fantastic game. Just to say, released in 1998 on the N64.
Yeah,
with a Metacritic of 99. I think
99.
Dave,
It is
if we were going to do a competition, I think Dave may have won.
Universally recognised as one of the best games ever. It was also re-released on... No, shut up a second. It was also re-released on the 3DS in 2011.
3DS, yeah.
Sorry, carry on, Stuart.
Can I use this moment as some counselling for me? I've never played a Zelda game.
Fuck off.
Apart from Link's Crossbow Chaining, which is not a Zelda game, on the Wii.
Fuck off.
Well, Stu, I feel sorry for you, mate, because you've missed out on.
I can play them still. I mean, they're available, aren't they? Or that's it. You're not allowed to play them after they've been released.
No,
yeah, but if you haven't played one now, mate, you're not going to, are you? Let's be honest.
I may do. You don't know. Stop judging me. Judge somebody else. Right. I may do. Go on then, Dave. Sell it to me. Why do you think I should be playing Ocarina of Time? Go.
I had chickenpox for 2 weeks, right, as an adult. And I had to have 2 weeks off work. And
you lucky bastard.
My wife, yeah. No, I wasn't, mate. I didn't feel lucky with fucking chickenpox things up my ass. Oh my God, it was awful.
That wasn't chickenpox,
anyway.
mate.
Yeah. I think it probably got over it. Anyway, my wife, she's my wife now. I don't think she was my wife then. No, she can't have been. She bought me, I said, go and get me a Nintendo 64 with GoldenEye. So we've got GoldenEye first. Then a little while later, I picked up Ocarina of Time, 60 quid. So
that's pretty
quite
hefty.
Expensive, isn't it?
Even then, definitely.
Back then, yeah, back then, that's a lot of money. But fuck me, was that £60 worth it? Oh, whatever.
Yep.
So, I mean, I've been watching YouTube videos of it the last kind of few days, just to refamiliarise myself. And I was making notes, and I was thinking, oh yeah, that bit. Oh, that bit's great. And then, that bit, and I had to stop because there's so many bits in it that are just brilliant. This could go on for like a couple of hours, so I kind of had to stop doing that, and I'll have to talk about it in more general terms, really. And just a couple of the bits that I kind of liked about it. Well, it was the first RPG I'd ever played, and probably the overriding thing that the game has got. I mean, the scope, it's real big. You'll agree with this, Duane. You've played it. It's like massive. Epic scope for the time. It is, isn't it? It's just huge.
Massive
game. It's not really now, but at the time, it's just the scope of it just blew blew me away. It's huge. It's huge. Fucking hell! Which bits? There's a place in it that, I mean, there's so many great characters in it that there's no talking in it at all, apart from Navi saying, "Hey, listen!"
Hey!
15 seconds or so.
I know it has, but
Yeah, and there's a couple of kind of grunts and that kind of thing, but there's no other talking in it. So all the only kind of thing you get from the characters is their facial expressions and some text in a box. But that's enough with that game. That is enough to get you really invested in these characters. It's just so well done. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. The places you visit, they're just really memorable places. There's the Goron City, and they're all kind of dancing around and stuff. There's Kakariko Village,
Zora Village.
yeah,
Just...
the like the water place. I mean, there's like a little side quest in Kakariko Village, which has got lovely music, by the way. And the music in this game is amazing. That village has got its own kind of theme tune, which is so nice. But there's a bit where you don't have to. It's a side quest, but you can get you can catch 10 chickens for this local kind of farm girl that's there. And her chickens have escaped. You've got to find 10. I spent fucking hours doing that because I could not find them.
Fucking chickens.
And I think one's in a box, and you've got to roll into a box, and it smashes, and the chicken's in it. And you wouldn't know, you wouldn't know unless you kind of experimented. But the thing is, you didn't mind spending the time because it was such a lovely place. It was such a lovely place to be. So you were more than happy to spend to spend the time there. And I think the reward, you got an empty bottle to put fucking milk.
Yeah,
in
well, there's something I need to
just
kind of talk about that in a second. But let's kind of talk about like lasting effect of this game. So I think it was one of the first games to have lock-on targeting, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah. It did have lock. Yeah. I think you.
I think it was one of the first. So it's one of the first 3D games to have the lock-on targeting, which, oh my god, is a fucking godsend when you're playing some games, honestly. And I think
Nintendo are innovators, aren't they?
They really are. They really are. Were not so sure now so much, but so first lock on, and I think it was one of the first games to have a day-night cycle, which kind of you'd have that. And I think
if you're in Hyrule Field at night, zombies start coming out the ground, like skeleton zombies.
Yeah,
but they only come out at night.
So it's a couple of different bits and pieces which it kind of, and it was huge. And then you kind of had the time travel mechanic as well, which was great. So you kind of had Hyrule as a young Link and Hyrule as an adult Link, and it kind of so good. And then you kind of have to chop and change between the two. It's just amazing game, amazing. Just I don't know, I played it for so many hours, but not that I wish to talk about my previous life too much. But my ex was playing it at the time, and there was we discovered, I think in because you didn't have the internet back then. I think in one of the magazines. I used to get magazines to read about games, honestly.
Yeah. They used to have a disc on the front sometimes. And stuff all sorts of stuff.
But there was this a glitch where if you switched an item at a certain point, you could basically get yourself another, because there are only 4 jars, and they were useful because you put fairies and potions and stuff
milk and stuff.
Milk and whatnot. Yeah. But you could basically switch out one of your items and change it to another bottle. So I was sensible, and I did. I think it was the big Goron sword claim check. Which once you finished that quest line, it was still in your inventory, but you never used it again. So I switched that for a bottle, and I thought, there you go, extra bottle. It's great, thank you very much. My ex decided she was going to. I never use bomb chew, she says. So I'm gonna switch it for that. I don't know if you remember in one of the last dungeons. I think it's the very last dungeon, Hyrule Castle. There's a bit where you have to set a bomb chew off on the ground, and it goes up the wall, across the ceiling, through a tiny little hole, and down, and then explodes, and then hits a switch which opens the door.
Yeah.
She couldn't do that, so she couldn't finish the game, and she was pissed as anything. It was so funny. That wasn't the worst of her life. That wasn't the worst of her life choices, but we won't go into that. Anyway, we finished on Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I think so. I just
I loved it. Honestly, it's still one of my favourite.
I just love the structure. I just love the structure of it. the overworld and the dungeons, and you went into a dungeon and you found an item, and is that
and you needed that
you
item
needed
to
do.
beat the boss. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's standard, but it works so well.
Yeah, brilliant. Love it, love it, love it. What a game.
What
Done.
a
Okay,
game.
I'm done on Ocarina of Time. Yeah.
So, Stu, what's your number 2?
Wow, my number 2.
Bit loose looking at him.
This game to me it's one of my early memories of games, and I still love it to this day. And playing the arcade version of it is still ace. It's still really good. It's Space Invaders, the original Space
classic.
Invaders, released in 1979. There's not even a Metacritic score for it. That's how old this is. But my main introduction to it was on the Atari 2600 in 81. I played the shit out of that, but it was not anything towards the arcade game. Which to cake it, you two have played Space Invaders. You must.
I've played versions of it over the years. It's just
you must have played the original one, with the iconic alien on
probably.
the side.
I remember seeing it in the fish and chip shop when I was younger.
Oh, it's just incredible. So, but like, this is one stat though I had to glean from it. It was absolutely incredible. So, in 1982, it grossed $3.8 billion, equivalent today.
That's a lot
$17.1 billion.
That's insane.
So in 1982, Taito, who developed it, made a shit ton of money. It was unbelievable. So, and they had to create custom hardware and development tools to make the game as well. They certainly made their money back though, a billion times fold as well. So, but it's one of those old sort of. It's just very easy to play. Everybody, as soon as you don't need any instructions, you know exactly what's going on.
It's very intuitive.
Aliens are trying to get you. You've just got to move left or right and shoot.
Is there a story buried within it anywhere, Stu?
Not in the original game. No, in ones they probably released afterwards, just trying to justify their existence. They probably put a story in it. Yeah, the story is the aliens have come down to fuck you up. You got to protect yourself.
You got to fuck them.
Done. That's it. That's the story. I think. No, I don't think there's a story.
Are you? You must be good at it then.
No, I'm not. I'm actually pretty shit. However, I'm shit. No, hang on. No. I'm shit at the arcade game. On the Atari 2600, I played it so much, I got bored because the score only went to 9,999, and then when it went over that, it cycled back to 0, and I kept on looping for about 4 or 5 times before I just got bored and turned it off. It does actually get faster and a bit harder, but it's only goes down so much. But the arcade game, it's like playing Afterburner at the arcade and Afterburner on a console. There's 2 different games.
Yeah.
It's just really hard. And I don't know, there's just something about the arcade one though. Maybe it's because it was the custom hardware in there. It was just so smooth and slick, and I think the first variations of it as well. It was a mono screen, but they put coloured tape over parts of it to make it look like it's changing colours.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
But I don't. But everything about it was so smooth. The animation as well, the aliens and the rockets coming down, and then when they hit your shields, because you got obviously shields just above you. When they hit the shield, the way they just break off and just explode a little bit, and then they would. I suppose the first game with destructive scenery, maybe is it?
Maybe.
I don't know. So, and it's just an absolute classic game, and I just got lots of really fond memories when I was a kid, just playing it, and I think that's where that really did. Now, there was games before that I played, of course I did, and when I was smaller and stuff, which we'll probably get into. I think we're doing an honorary list, aren't we, in a bit? But anyway,
Honorable mentions,
I'll put a few
yes,
of those on
that.
there. But I don't know. This game is just so simple. It talk about just the boiling down the essence of a game of just literally move left and right, fire, done. That's all you got to do. It's all you got to think about, and just dodge all these bullets, and you're just going to get the high score. And that's it. There's nothing. it's not overly that hard. I mean, it does get hard, of course, because obviously when they come down, they get faster and faster. And the more of the aliens you get, the faster the aliens go. So there is that. But as a concept of a game, it's very simple, but it's timeless. You could give this game to basically anybody, and they'd pick it up and just play it. And I would hope they would enjoy it. I don't think everybody would, but it's a very timeless game. So that's my number 2.
No, and I think that's there. I mean, I think it's probably like precursor to a lot of games like R-Type. What's that game that Dave really likes? Resogun. Anything like that. It's just like precursor. It's just like laid the groundwork for so many games, and the whole arcade industry. I mean,
researching this game a little bit, the designer took inspiration from War of the Worlds. I think I've seen this, but Space Battle Yatomo. I think I've seen that one.
Japanese thing, yeah.
And Star Wars as well.
Yep.
These are like these are all inspirations of the game. It's just like, wow, too right. Star Wars, where are you going to go? You're not going to go wrong with that one, are you?
Two pedigree. Good pedigree.
So what about your number 2?
Right, so for my number 2, I went for a franchise, but a set within a franchise. So I've gone for the Metroid Prime Trilogy. Released originally, so there's 3 of them, obviously, because it's a trilogy. 2 on the GameCube in 2002/3, depending on where in the world you lived, 2004 and 2007.
So is this the remastered? Is this the remastered one you're talking
No,
about?
that's the individual ones. And then there was a bundle, trilogy bundle released on the Wii in 2009. So the third one was released on the Wii. First 2 on GameCube, and the first has been just re-released as a remaster on the Switch. Currently playing through that. It's amazing. It's just none of you guys are Nintendo peeps, are you? So
I've owned some Nintendos, mate. I've played some Metroid Prime.
So
I've not played any. Sorry,
Stuart. You haven't got you need to play Metroid Prime.
I've got a Switch. I have a Switch.
You can get Metroid Prime. Play it. It's so good. Graphically, it's amazing. It's like it was the first time I think Samus went from the 2D style, like side platformy style thing, to like a proper 3D world, first person shooter type thing. So good. It's just like the exploration, massive world, so many different environments. It's just great. But I didn't actually jump on it when it first came out. I think I waited till it was part of I can't remember what the Nintendo GameCube, is it Classics Collection or something, when they re-released it, and I picked it up super cheap, like 10 quid or
on
something.
The Wii.
No, on the
Wii, it got 91 on Metacritic.
What, as a trilogy?
The trilogy, yeah, the actual trilogy.
Trilogy 91. So there you go. So so the trilogy is amazing, and I think 2007 when 3, which is Corruption, was released. So I have a real issue. I wanted to sort of like go off piece a little bit here. A real issue with the Wii. It was a great bit of hardware, just killed by absolute fucking shovelware of awful games. Just terrible games. People go, oh, it's just rubbish. It's a rubbish bit of kit, blah, blah, blah. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption really showed what it could do. It just blew it out of the water. Graphically, it was just superb. Absolutely loved it. It was amazing. But sadly, the Wii died under the weight of its own success, really, I think, sadly. Just for quality of games. I mean, it did amazingly. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a failure. It sold, like,
yeah, I was just saying, it's like one of the
but as a gamer,
one of the most popular consoles ever.
Oh yeah. But as a gamer, no. There was like very little came out on it. I'd be like, Mario Galaxy was like worth it. I think the Zelda one, which came out on it when it was released, was good.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah. Sorry, I've gone off piece a little bit there. But yeah, Metroid Prime as a trilogy, amazing. I'm still waiting for 4, but it still just remains, to this day, a logo.
A quick little stat on the Wii sales. It was the 7th best-selling console with 101 million 101.6 million units sold.
That doesn't sound that many. That doesn't sound that many.
101 million.
101 million doesn't
Does
sound
sound
that
that many.
Doesn't sound that many.
Oh, okay.
I got the Wii on launch day.
Yes. Same.
And it was fucking amazing.
Yep.
The controller, the fact that you moved it through the air,
played tennis, did
and
bowling,
stuff did on the screen. I could not believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe it. It was fucking incredible. But it didn't really outside the first party stuff.
Yep. First party was golden, but everything else was just.
It just didn't get the support.
Sorry, again going like almost literally off piece. SSX, they had a great Wii game that was only available on Wii, and you would do tricks by moving the controller, drawing designs and shapes and stuff.
Okay, yeah,
and that was actually really, really good. That's I think the only standout third. Anyway, sorry, really sort of going off piece a little bit here, literally. So yeah, Metroid Prime as a trilogy, just amazing. Just like story, narrative, just so like an overarching story across 3 games. So good, so good.
What was the shooting like?
Solid. It's just solid. Lock on targeting again, just like making it like a little bit easier for noobs like me.
Because I played a Metroid Prime game on the Wii, and it was it was a first person shooter.
Yeah, so they all were.
Would that have been corruption then, or was that something else?
So if it was one that was released specifically for Wii, then yes, it would have been corruption, and actually that was more. It did. I'm not sure if that had the lock on or not, but because it had the Wiimote, you kind of targeted with like moving the controller, and I think it worked quite well, from what I remember. It was a long time ago.
You eagerly awaiting 4 then?
I am awaiting 4, but I don't know when that's coming. I'm hoping they're going because, like I said, they've released Metroid Prime 1. I'm hoping they'll do 2 and 3 before 4 comes out. Then I can just replay the whole lot because we all love a remaster, don't we?
Yeah, but I think that's where I might jump in because I might as well. I mean, at that point, get all of them. So
yeah, I mean, do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually, so annoyingly, I was not again sort of going away slightly. I went on holiday. And I was toying up about taking my Switch with me, and I was like, "Oh, if I take it, then I'll probably just I just had Fortnite on it. Fucking Fortnite, seriously, bane of my life now."
Addict.
I'm addicted to it. It's terrible. But I was like,
"It's not that bad, Duane.
It's not that bad. It's a lot of fun." But I was like, then I was like, hotel internet might not be up to it, blah blah. So I thought, I'm not going to bother. I won't take my Switch. I'll just take my iPad and I'll just watch movies and watch TV and stuff. And then whilst I was away, this was announced, and it wasn't even announced with any kind of lead up time to release. It was just like, oh, this is now available. Go and buy it. And I was like, if I had my Switch, I would have it. I'll just do it now, and I'll be playing it now. But it's fine. I only had to wait a week, but it's fine. It's great. It's amazing. The remaster just looks so good, so good. Plays really nicely. They've updated it nicely. It's good. They've done good work on it. Anyway. So I think that's all number 2s. All number 2s done. Everybody's done their number 2s. So I think we should probably just do honourable mentions. So Dave, what have you got in the way of honourable mentions?
Oh yeah, I've got a few. I mean, you can't go mad, can you? Because I could spout loads of games, but I've got kind of 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think that's probably the same as all of us, actually.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Very popular. Very, very popular, but I found it boring.
Samurai PlayStation game. Fucking felt so good to play. Duane, there's something wrong with you if you didn't like it.
I just found it boring. Sorry.
Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons.
Good game.
Great game.
Yeah.
Very emotional. Short game. Very emotional game. The guy that did that went on to do... What else did he do, Stu?
I can't remember. Don't know. Oh, there you go. Was it the... what was it?
I think they've done It Takes Two. I think
yeah, that's it. It Takes Two.
It Takes Two is their latest, I think. Joseph someone, I think his name is. Joseph, not Fritzl. someone else. Streets of Rage series.
Fuck
Love
that
it, love it,
game.
love it.
No.
Especially Streets of Rage 4. Stop shaking your heads, you fucking weirdos. Resogun. We mentioned
Great game.
Resogun earlier.
Yeah, great.
Classic arcade shooter that is. Spent hours and hours and hours on that game. That's just got that one more go appeal about it. Halo, the first Halo, which I remember playing that at a friend's house. I played it for an hour, and then said, "Sorry, mate, I've got to go," because I just immediately went to the shop and bought an Xbox and Halo, because it was just we were just looking at the grass and going, "Fucking look! It's like the greatest thing I'd ever seen in a video
Was you
game."
smoking grass at the time?
No.
Okay.
But just it was just the greatest thing I'd ever seen was the grass in Halo. And the last one, which to be honest, was so close to getting in the top 3, is Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii.
Super Mario Galaxy was great.
Yeah, it's just it's just so much fun to play. Just great. Every couple of minutes it did something different. It never kind of went back to any of the ideas. It was just all fresh all the way through. Oh, fucking hell, what a game. That's my honourable mentions.
Stu.
Oh, I've got more than 6. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read them all out, and I've got way more, but I'm not going to do all those. But then I will stop, and then maybe do a little bit of blurb about it. So the list so far is Wipeout 2097, classic PS1 game, the best Wipeout game in my opinion. It doesn't matter about the remakes of the VR; they're very good. This is what made Wipeout. It's amazing. Last of Us 1 and 2, Uncharted, Heavy Rain, Circus Atari, I'm talking 2600, a game called Siege, which is on the CBM Pet, which is amazing. That's the first game I can actively remember ever playing. A game called Silkworm, which is you're a helicopter and a jeep, and it's just a shmup really, a side-scrolling shmup. And then R-Type, Alien Isolation, Cyberpunk 2077, Detroit Become Human, Deus Ex, all the Deus Ex games. I don't care, I want them all. They're ace. Can't believe they nearly got on my top 3, by the way. And then I don't give
I
shit
was
at
quite
which one
sort
I'm
of
gonna pick.
surprised it's not.
Yeah. And then Killzone Mercenary, if you've ever played it, if you've ever got a Vita, that is a must-play game, the Killzone Mercenary. Star Trek Bridge Crew, how much fun, David, we have on that. It's incredible, that game is.
Yeah, great fun.
And, this one's a bit of controversy, Order 1886. That game is fucking ace, and I don't care what anybody says. It might be a little bit boring in some places, but my God, when I got my PS4, and I got
that was a launch game, wasn't it?
Slightly after launch.
No, it was slightly after, but
that was supposed to be graphically.
It was.
Yeah, it was
mind blowing. I bought that full price. I really remember that because Dex had just been born around about that year as well, and I remember playing it while he was on my lap. It was just like going, I can't believe how good this game is. And then reading all the reviews, everybody hated it, and I was thinking, I really like this game, and then really upset that they never made a sequel because it leaves it on a cliffhanger as well. If you've ever played it, it's like, oh, that it? Oh, okay. There's a bit of annoying, quick time, against the werewolf kind of bit, but apart from that, it's a great game. So, but yeah, so they're mine. But Last of Us 1 and 2, Uncharted, Heavy Rain. I mean, Cyberpunk though is probably the most modern one on that list, and it is a great game. Now they've fixed it. If you've not played it, play it. It's a great game, and it's cheap. Duane, what is yours?
Not as extensive as yours. Obviously, both the Last of Us games are on there. Just such good games. Bloodborne. I was really late to the party with this one, and I didn't jump on. I kind of bought it, and then until we did that challenge for Year of Shame 3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And I challenged Dave to play it. I was just like, this is hard. And then once I got into it, it's amazing. So. And then as now I've kind of turned into one of those people that just likes those punishing games where you just die loads. Love it.
Yeah.
Gears of War. as a series, generally, a couple of like low points, but as a whole, just really, really enjoy those games. The first Gears is just so good. It's a great cover-based shooter. Great guns. It's got a fucking chainsaw on it. What more do you need? Like a machine gun with a chainsaw on. It's just the best. It's just so manly. It's just not like me at all. Vanquish. I don't know if any of you guys have played Vanquish. Yeah. Great game.
Vanquish, you say, I have a love-hate relationship with that game. It is an amazing game, but also it's fucking hard as nails as well.
Yeah.
The problem is with that game, if you've not got the right weapon equipped at the end, you can never get past the end boss.
Yep.
You need the right weapon, and you don't know what the right weapon is unless you do after you've played it a couple of times. But it's I've been a victim of that, getting there and then going, oh, well, this was pointless.
Yeah, it's good game though. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a bit bonkers. Like kind of.
It's very over the top.
Japanese crazy big monsters bonkers, but yeah, it's great. And lastly, not many people have played this one, but Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people who worked on that, a few of the people who worked on that, went on and did The Last of Us. There's like a lot of design things going on in that, which happen in The Last of Us, like with the whole like dilapidated, broken down buildings and stuff. But it's really really good. And also, I didn't write it down, but the Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, great walking.
Oh, now that is a great game.
Great walking simulator, but just really enjoyable. Yeah. Just really, really enjoyable. I think we're spoiled as gamers now, honestly. It's just like...
Yeah. We are eating well.
We're definitely eating well. A veritable banquet of goodness. So, on to our top games. Might as well start with Dave. Dave. And I think you might have given this away earlier on, but what is your number one game?
I did give it away.
You shot your load early.
I shot early. I was premature. Well, my top game, my number one game of all time, is Portal.
Yes.
1 or 2?
1. Portal 1. Portal 2 is great, but it's not as good as Portal 1.
It's great. It's got Stephen Merchant in it. Anybody interested? Portal 1 was released in 2007.
So that was in the orange box, but that's how it was released within the orange box. So that was the new game in the orange box.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
games
with a Metacritic score of 90.
90. So it's not.
So
96.
that's probably the lowest score. That's probably the lowest score what we've had so far. It's still an amazing score and an amazing game. And to be fair, whoever scored it less than 90, that should be more than 90.
It should be.
And they should have a serious talk with themselves. Whoever did that.
So Dave, why is this so high on your list of games? Why?
First and foremost, it's a puzzle game.
Yep.
Isn't it? And it's a fantastic puzzle game, and like all the best puzzle games, and to be honest, and I quite like puzzle games. I think this is the one that does it the best. And all great puzzle games should do this, but great puzzle games make you feel like you're clever.
Yeah. Feel like you're
even
if you're
genius.
Not.
Yeah, even if you're not, they can make you think, fuck me.
I figured that out.
Yeah, fucking hell, I'm clever. Yeah. And that's the sign of a brilliant puzzle game. And this game, I think, does it better than any of the other games.
Definitely.
But it's not just a puzzle. It's so much more than a puzzle game. There's so much more going on.
It's a romantic comedy. Yeah.
You've got GLaDOS, who's like, is she the best fucking video game villain? She might be.
Could be.
We'll have to do a podcast on that.
She's up there.
I just love GLaDOS. It's just her sort of her personality, her voice, the sort of metallic stuff in her voice, the way it distorts. Just a general sort of, I don't know, the humour that's in there, the sort of the sly digs that she kind of puts in, the way she talks about things, the way that she doesn't become more unhinged as the game goes. She's always unhinged, but she just reveals herself to be more unhinged as the game goes on. The way that it just eases you into the game, the design of it, the fact that so at the start the portals are there, but all you can do is kind of walk through them. You have no control over them for the first couple of testing rooms. Then you get the gun, and then it gives you a couple of rooms where you can only fire one portal. So it's just gently kind of easing you into the mechanic of the game. And then you get the two portals, the blue and you get the blue and the orange portals. Then the complexity increases, but it never increases too much. It always stops short of being overly complicated. Do you know what I mean? Yep. Although fuck me, how the level design's amazing. They must have been geniuses, the people that designed the levels, because fucking hell.
Wasn't it students? Was it a student project?
And
then they got funding from Valve to flesh it out and make it more polished.
Yeah, from what I understand, there were some students. There were some people who did a game called I think it's Narbuncular Drop or something like. It was something like that, which was Portal, but yeah, and then Valve. I think Valve saw it and said, right, come in, work for us, and make Portal. Narbuncular Drop, something like that. I think it was. But just the level design is just incredible. Just going back to GLaDOS, some of the comments she makes, she starts mentioning the cake.
The cake. I've got cake.
Cake's alive.
Isn't it like because it's my like her birthday or something, or somebody's birthday, and I've got cake?
It's just, I think the cake is she keeps giving the promise of a party for
finishing. Yes, that's right. That's right.
For completing the testing, but she does say there's cake available at the end of the testing as well as grief counselling. So you sort of and she kind of starts to hint. Start to get hints that it's probably not going to end well, and she starts hinting that she's going to kill you. Or you're going to die at the end of it. What else happens? The companion cube. So you get this cube that you're kind of forced to take it through a level with you. So you're forced to develop a bit of a relationship with it. You then have to incinerate it to progress further in the game. She then congratulates you on being the person who incinerated the cube the quickest out of all the test subjects. Oh, there's just so much. There's
so
just
dark.
So much.
It's so dark.
Absolute classic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's so much good stuff in it.
Thing is, though, it still works to this day because my lad who's 8 now, he plays Portal and he loves it. And we joke about the cake and he loves the song. It's constant play on our Spotify playlist of the GLaDOS' song from Portal 1 and Portal 2. They're just absolutely brilliant. It still works this day. It's just fantastic.
Then you get this kind of well, it's not really a twist, I suppose, because it's been heavily telegraphed. But you get the twist in the game where, you've completed the last test room, so she then tries to kill you by putting you in some fire. You escape that, and then you get to kind of go behind the scenes at Aperture. But underneath, behind all the testing rooms, seeing how things work, and then eventually, you sort of confront her. There's a kind of a boss battle at the end. She sort of lets slip that there's no other people around because she's killed them all, and you're with this nerve toxin, and you're next, and all the rest of it, and you end up killing her. You escape, although you don't escape because they added a bit. I think what happened is in the original cut of the game you escaped. Then once they decided to release Portal 2, they added a bit onto the end of Portal 1 where you get kind of dragged back into the facility. I think I'm right in saying that.
I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, but you get sort of get dragged back in. Yeah, but then the kind of cutscene at the end goes down into the basement where you see that the cake wasn't a lie because there is a cake with one candle in it, and then the candle gets blown out, the game ends, and then you get the ending song, which
absolutely amazing.
I can still remember. I'd finished the game. I was kind of stood in my living room looking at the telly. I just finished the game and that song started playing, and I was just fucking blew my mind at just how great the song was. Just the whole thing. It was what an I wish I could go back and experience that again. That's why it's my favourite game of all time. Is that feeling I had at the end was what a game.
And you're so smart because you finished it.
Yeah, exactly. I must be clever, and I must be the only person that's ever finished it because I was clever enough to do it, and I'm sure nobody else has finished it. It's just, that's how it makes you feel. Great puzzle games make you feel clever.
But there's one thing what really fucks me over that game of how short it is. It is such a short game. You can do it in about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, I watched a playthrough earlier on YouTube. It's 40 minutes.
Well, okay, they're just bombing through.
But that's they obviously know exactly
what
they
you're
were
doing and not.
Yeah, I think your first time's a good couple of
because
hours.
I think I had the same feeling as what you did, Dave. But then it was like I was sitting there amazed how amazing this game was, and it was like, but why is it so short? What? Why is it so short? Why? Why?
Yeah. But something doesn't have to be long to be good.
Yep, is that what your wife says?
Does it? That's
what they say.
That's what I tell her.
That quality.
It doesn't have to be long.
It's quality.
It is an absolute classic game. Classic game. Well deserved a number one spot on there, Dave.
But I can't. I've got nowhere playing it now.
Isn't it available?
Yeah, you can on Switch.
It's on,
Got a Switch
on
on
Switch.
My lad's got a Switch.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll
Sorry.
play it on Switch.
Just steal it. He won't know.
Also got,
Oh,
I've got it on PS3
lovely.
as well.
Brilliant.
So.
Good. Replay coming up. Yeah, anyway, that's my number one, Portal.
Right. Might mix it up slightly. I'll go next. So my number one game. We've already had one Legend of Zelda, and I am going to go for another Legend of Zelda, and it's not possibly the one you think. Majora's Mask on the N64, released in 2004 on the N64, and then again in 2015 on the 3DS. Now, I am one of those weird people that actually almost prefer Majora's Mask over Ocarina of Time. I don't know what it got on Metacritic. Stu, help me out.
Which year we're talking? We're talking 2009? Is that the one?
Yeah, I think the original was 2000.
Oh no, 2000, 95.
95. So yeah, it's still like up there, but it's not as good. Well, not as well received. Oh fuck! It is as well received as Ocarina of Time. It's shorter.
Very well received.
It's short, but only by 4. I mean,
It's very different.
it's very, very different. It's a very different tone, and this is why I like it. It's darker. So the basic premise of the game is I think you play as young Link, so there's no like time changing mechanic in this one. But you play as young Link, and you stumble into this world where you come across Skull Kid. And he steals. Well, he's stolen the mask, which is Majora's Mask, the titular thing, and then he turns you into a Deku scrub, and then sends you into this world, which is basically doomed because the moon's going to crash land to it in 3 days. And you have 3 days to solve 4 dungeons and deal with all the little things going on in this 3-day cycle, like loads of personalities, like characters doing things. There's like little side missions. And I think it's, I can't remember. I think it's like, is it 72 hours? But it's 70. Like I think a minute is an hour. I think in game. So a minute in real time.
Is it like Groundhog Day?
It's exactly like Groundhog Day, and then you get to play the Ocarina.
I love that film, but I don't think I could play a game like it.
No, it's amazing. And then you basically any of your like main quest items you keep, but all your other things you lose. So you lose rupees and bows, and like your arrows and shit like that. And you basically have to like do each dungeon in a day, but you have to like make progress, and then you have to go back to the beginning. and then you make progress and you go back to the beginning, and then you just kind of keep doing that. It's just so good. Yeah, so you have to like solve these 4 dungeons and then free up the 4 giants, who will then come and stop the moon crashing into Termina. It's darker, and that's why I like it, because it's just like not that. Not saying Ocarina of Time isn't dark, because it gets back in darker points, but it's just like it. It's weird.
So it's like the sort of, because there's been a bit of a spate of games lately on a kind of time loop.
Yes.
There's the Assassin one. I can't for the life of me think what
Deathloop.
There's
Deathloop, yes.
Deathloop, yeah.
Deathloop. Returnal does the same thing.
Yeah, the Outer Wilds. So is that another instance of Nintendo innovating then? Would you think that was the first game that was like
Possibly.
that?
I don't remember anything doing that before. No, I don't think so.
I did play Majora's Mask, but I'll be honest with you, mate, I couldn't get on with it.
Oh, it's just
it looked the same as Ocarina.
Yes, it's basically running with the same
art
engine.
style.
I think on the N64 you had to have
Yeah.
the expansion pack for it. I don't know if anybody remembers that little thing you just stuck in the top.
I mean, it's slotted in the controller.
No, it's stuck in the top of the console. It's like extra memory, and you needed it for certain games. And some games it just enhanced it, and for some games you needed to have it. And Majora's Mask was when you needed to have it. So yeah, and then you can use masks to turn into different things. You get like the Deku Scrub, which kind of gives you certain powers, and you can turn into a Goron, which also gives you certain things you can do, and use those things to access areas. It's typical standard Zelda thing where you kind of get the new thing, and that opens up new areas. But it's just so good. And the 3DS remake looked really nice. Really, really
Have you
nice.
still got your copy?
Yeah, I've got both the Ocarina and...
Mate, that's worth some money.
What, really?
Majora's Mask worth some money, I believe.
Interesting.
Q Stew typing. I can see him typing away.
No, Dave, Dwight, it's only worth £2. I'll give you £3 for it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go.
£3.
What a deal!
Nice.
What a deal!
Yeah, it's so good. I just love... but I think, kind of controversial opinion time, I didn't choose Zelda as a franchise because there have been some real duffers. Skyward Sword, I think Dave might agree with me on this one, was just an absolute shit show of a mess. It was just awful.
Yeah, shit game. Shit game. Really disappointing. So much filler in it.
So much filler, so much repetition. Playing it on the Wii when it originally came out, the motion controls were just broken. It was just the worst, the most frustrating gaming experience I've ever had. And I think it even had like the Wii Motion Plus thing, which was like, this is the thing you need, and it'll be better. But I was like, no, this is worse. It was just absolutely horrible.
I threw my controller across the room playing against the final boss in that
I'm
game
not surprised.
because I kept dying because of the controls. It was fucking infuriating.
Does not surprise me. I think I was in some similar like positions. There's like a thing where you have to like bash the person coming towards you with one of the controllers, and it kind of like is a stagger thing. But it just didn't work. But the real controversial opinion as far as Zelda goes, Breath of the Wild, which I'm assuming most people thought that's where I was going, but no, I did not like Breath of the Wild. Did not like it.
Is it because your weapons broke? Because that was a big controversy.
Well, that was part of it. I mean, it is frustrating when you're kind of like having to like keep finding new weapons. But I just found it was kind of, it sounds a bit weird, but it was just too big and empty. It
hasn't got the structure, that classic Zelda structure.
Yeah, and I think that was the problem. It didn't have that.
Well,
structure.
it was made for the Wii U, though, wasn't it? Was it made?
I think it was originally started developing.
It was made for the Wii.
No,
was
the Wii U,
Wii,
because like one of the things in it is you have like this little tablet thing, which I think is supposed to be the Wii U tablet.
But was it on the Wii as well?
No, it never came out for the Wii U. It just came out for the Switch.
There was a Zelda game on the Wii. What was the Zelda game on the Wii U?
It was I don't think they ever did. I think they re-released Twilight Princess, and they re-released the Wind Waker for the Wii U, but I don't think they ever did like a dedicated Wii U Zelda. They were both good ports, actually. on the Wii U. They both like were really, really good.
I think Breath of the Wild, and I do agree with you a bit on Breath of the Wild. But the reason I don't like it as much is because it hasn't got that tight structure of a Zelda game.
It's just too loose. I mean, it looks great. It looks beautiful, but too much. I mean, but I enjoyed that. There were aspects of it I enjoyed, like the shrines, the puzzle shrines. Not so much the battle ones, but the puzzle shrines I quite enjoyed because you kind of have to use like all the different powers to do that. But no.
No, I think, I think Breath of the Wild did come out on the Wii U.
It didn't.
Did it not?
No.
Am I wrong?
Sure.
I've just googled
Pretty
it.
sure it didn't.
I'm pretty sure. No, I thought it was made. Wasn't it made for the previous console, and then it was ported over to the most recent console?
Twilight Princess was made for the
was.
GameCube and ported to the Wii, but they had to flip it because Link is left-handed because Shigeru Miyamoto is left-handed, so that's the thing. But for the Wii version, they had to mirror everything, so Link was holding the sword in his right hand because most people would be using the Wii mote in their right hand. Weird fact for the day for you there. But I think Breath of the Wild was started developing for the Wii U, but was never released for the Wii U.
It was released on the Wii U.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
March 2017.
It was released on the Wii U, and then it was released on the Switch, not released at the same time. Because that was the big controversy about it. Go, well, why should we buy the Wii U version when we buy the Switch version?
Was it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I know I'm not in the Nintendo space.
Yeah.
I've never have been, but I remember that being a thing at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the articles now.
Oh, look at that. Apparently it was. I never even knew.
Never question us, Duane. Never.
Well, I just assumed.
I remember now because my son had a Wii U, and I remember playing it on the Wii U because once you mentioned the tablet, that's when I thought.
Because I think that was part of the thing. It was like there was a tablet.
That tablet controller was on the couch, and I was watching telly one night, and I spilled beer on it, and it never works again. And he's never played the Wii U since.
Dude, that's harsh.
And he's also never forgiven me.
Rightly so.
Still to this day.
Rightly
he's not talking to you.
Rightly so. Anyway, so yeah, that's Majora's Mask. If you have forgotten, that was my number one game. Stuart.
Good choice.
Stuart.
Never played a Zelda game. Anyway, so have a guess which one might be.
I wonder.
Fortnite.
Close.
Destiny.
Very close.
Destiny.
The story in Fortnite. It's obviously going to be Mass Effect, but I'm not going for the trilogy, even though I think Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 are all fantastic games and they deserve their moment. But it's like Uncharted. Everybody likes Uncharted, but everybody knows that Uncharted 2 is the best one. Everybody knows that Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars film ever made. It's always the second one. It's Mass Effect 2. My God, what an amazing game. Now, it's very story driven. It is a third person action role playing game. You do play the role of Commander Shepard, but he talks or she talks. Got a bit every time when I play Mass Effect, I always play as the female Shep.
That's so woke. Oh my God.
Oh no, she's awesome. I try playing Mal Shep, and he just annoys me. I don't know, I just didn't like his voice. But say that, I've never done a full playthrough with Mal Shep, so I really should do that. But it was when I first played this game, it was on the PS3. I know that Mass Effect 1 originated on the Xbox, not because of BioWare, because Microsoft basically paid for that game. So they published it and all that stuff. So, and I did eventually play that game, but it was on the PS3 when all the licensing came up. But anyways, we're talking about Mass Effect 2. So there was probably about 6 years where I hadn't even played a console. I mean, my job's had been in IT, and I messed around with PC gaming, but never really got into it because it's too much faff, still to this day. And it was just a lull, like going out with friends and all that, doing other things, blah, blah, blah. So I missed out the PS2 generation, so it was from PS1 straight to PS3. Now I went around a friend's house, and they showed me a couple of games on the PS3, and I could not believe it. One of them, which was one of my honorary mentions, was Heavy Rain, and the other one was Mass Effect 2, and it was only a demo, and my God, it blew me away. Just the fact that the Shepard was just in this spaceship, and it was out of the atmosphere, or in space, no atmosphere, and debris was hitting him, and you could just push it away and things like that. Just those little bit of environmental details and things like that. And then I picked up a PS3 and I picked up that game, and I could not believe how games had progressed from since I played on a PS1 to this I had in my hands. And it was probably like Dave with you in Half-Life 2. It's like the story was just unbelievable, and not like in Half-Life 2. This one, you had made a decision and it carried on, and this game had multiple quote-unquote endings, which I will get onto in a little bit. But you could go in different paths. You could save particular people. You could kill the whole squad. You could be horrible and play the game as a nasty person, or play the game as a good person. To be fair, though, it was literally binary. It was you either evil or not evil. So it's a bit weird in that sense. But it still give you that scope. And for the time, if you look at, I can't even think of a game now which is like that. Which they've made now. I can't think of one. No, obviously, somebody please tell me or put the comments when we release this. I have no idea.
I think
can't
Fallout
remember.
3 kind of had something like that.
Yeah,
going
I suppose. Yeah, but that one was a bit loose as well, because Fallout 4 was supposed to have that as well.
Fallout 4 was nowhere near as
but
separated as 3.
But it was just the fact that you could go to these worlds and they just explore. They'd talk to loads of people. They go to this massive space station called the Citadel and go to all the departments and talk to people. The game basically, that's like 2, so nobody knows, is you basically got to recruit a squad and you've got to do loyalty missions. So for them to be loyal to you, you've got to basically it's like you doing a little backhander for them, they'll do a little backhander for you, and then everybody's happy. So you do all those, but they're so enjoyable because you get to learn so much more about the characters. You may not even like the characters, to be fair, but it doesn't matter. You want them on your team because the final mission is the famous, what everybody talks about, the suicide mission. And if you don't get all your ducks in a line and you don't get all your upgrades done, you're fucked. Because you want to get out of that mission with all your squad intact. And I remember the first time I played it, and I just could not get my head around, wow, hang on, why have I lost? I've lost my Krogan, and I've lost it. Oh my God, why am I losing people? It's because I'm not upgrading certain points of it, or I made the wrong decision. I spoke to the person the wrong way, like way back. And that game has got, to me personally, I'm not saying for everybody, but me, multiple replay value as well. I just wanted to see, right, what happens if I do it this way? What happens if I do it like that? And I always found something new and things like that. So that game also got a Metacritic score of 96, and it was released, sadly, in 2010, not 2007. Mass Effect 1 was released in 2007.
2007.
Yeah. Now, Mass Effect 1 this is controversial. It's an okay game. It's good at laying down the law. The gameplay, though, is fucking terrible. The exploring is awful. The worlds you go to are exactly the same as the other worlds. There's nothing in there. But the story is there. The Rachni and the Krogan, and you get introduced to all the alien races and the complex story. In that sense, it's very good. Mass Effect 2, though, is where they actually got their stride, and the graphics, the gameplay, the Mass Effect 1 was more of a role play game, to be fair. Mass Effect 2, they really did dumb it down, but it was a lot better in my opinion. But all these games as well all fed into each other. So 1, 2, and 3 fed into each other. But my primary is 2 is the best one out of all 3 of them. It's a great game. If you've not played them, I take it you haven't played them, Duane?
No, I've never played the Mass Effect games, and I don't know why. I think they just kind of passed me by at the time. I was aware that
I
they
think
existed.
they're fairly up your street.
Yeah, I think they probably would
Yeah.
be, but I just was aware. Was like just passed me by at the time.
Yeah. My only advice, if you're going to play it, which I really do suggest you play because they're amazing, but like, don't get put off by Mass Effect 1. If you're going to play that, you've got to play the Legendary Edition. It's loads of quality of life changes they've done to it. It just streamlines a lot of stuff. Because Mass Effect 1 was very limited. If you didn't play a particular class, you could aim down your sights on a gun. It was fucking annoying. But they've changed all that now. But if you're going to play it, play Mass Effect 1, but just power through it, just get through it, play the game, get the lore. Mass Effect 2, though, is where you want to be. And Mass Effect 3, I think, is a great game too. Don't get me wrong. Dave, have you ever played it?
Yeah, I never played 1. I played 2 and finished 2. I love 2.
Yeah.
2 is a great game.
Great game.
At the start of 2, I remember having to make some decisions. I think it was 5 or 6 choices during the intro to the game.
Oh, it's because you've not played 1, so therefore it's...
Because I haven't played 1,
yeah,
it's just asked you to make these... that was enough for me, to be fair. That was fine. Yeah, 2's fantastic. I jumped on 3 as soon as I could. There just wasn't enough there for me to get to the end of it. I dropped off it.
I really liked 3.
I'm not really too sure why. I don't know, but 2, I think you're right. Is kind of, for me, it was the pinnacle.
It's
of
the
it.
best one, yeah.
Yeah.
With the Genophage and Morden Silas is the greatest character
Miranda,
in the world, in my opinion. He's just awesome. It's just, to be fair, if you released it now, yeah, it might get a bit of pushback because there might be some seams, but it was very progressive as well at the time. You know, multiple races, doesn't matter what your gender was or what your preference was, didn't care. It was completely as it should be.
You could do any of that stuff.
Should be
yeah.
normalised how it should be. It doesn't matter because what it mattered was the characters and the story.
I think the remake, or the Legendary Edition. I think 2 has got less gratuitous.
No. All they've done is that there's one camera angle of a butt shot, which, to be fair,
yeah,
fair play, whatever. It doesn't stop you enjoying the game that it's not there, and also you can understand probably why they took it out because really it was like one of those hanging camera shots for no reason.
Yeah.
It didn't make much sense, so it didn't add to the story. It just added to the ooh, what a bum. Ooh. You know, it doesn't, and that means nothing. You know, it doesn't add to any story, does it? So, you know, at the end of the day, it's fine. It doesn't matter. There wasn't really that much. I mean, the Legendary Edition is the way to play. They streamlined a lot of mechanics and stuff. It's a lot better in that sense. So yeah. Anyway, Mass Effect 2. If you've not played it, please play it. It's a great game. You don't have to play 1. 1 helps with some lore stuff, but not important. As like Dave said, you can play 2 and just fill out 5 questions of choices you may have made, and then you get on with the actual game. It's a great game. So, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, might have a look at that. I've got so many games to play and so much to do in my life. Barely have time. Fucking Fortnite.
Delete Fortnite, and then you'll yeah.
No, I'm not deleting Fortnite. God, no, I love it. It's ace. I'm shit at it, but I love it.
Oh, I got my... it's been a while, but I got a solo victory royale yesterday. It's been a while since I had one of those.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
It's hard giving it up. It's like crack cocaine. Still
I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. I love crack.
I love a bit of crack.
I love a bit of crack.
Love a bit of crack. So that's it. That's each of our top 3 games. I'm sure you'll disagree. You'll be like, "Where's such and such game? Where's such and such game?" But you know, these are all our personal preferences. Doesn't mean you're wrong.
Well, when this goes out, if you don't agree or you do agree or whatever, then stick some comments in.
This is all just personal. Doesn't mean we're right and you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're right and we're wrong.
Your top 3s,
but you are wrong, and we are right.
Duane, I mean, we are right.
We are right.
All of them out there are
all
wrong. You know that.
so wrong. Yeah. So thanks for listening. Bit of housekeeping, Stu.
Oh, well. Oh, God, I wasn't prepared for this. So, yes, the normal place to get us from is obviously the Facebook group. So, go to Facebook and then look for TheLoggBox. Email us at TheLoggBox@gmail.com. YouTube channel is YouTube and then the @ symbol, the logbox. So just search for the logbox on Google and you'll find us. So that's it.
So yeah, thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll be coming in your ears again soon.
Bye.
Bye. Play ball.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.